Listen, if this team has any kind of backbone,
They don't.
then you should win this football game. I mean, you're up against a backup quarterback.
Yeah, Minshew mania.
I mean,
The Colts are a better team.
Yeah, the Colts do have talent.
They have more talent than the Patriots right now, as currently constituted, without Gonzalez, Judon, with Trent Brown staying behind. That's a big
they
loss.
do. The problem, when you look at this game, it's always going to come down to, in my opinion, is what your offense can do. Because I think defensively, your defense is going to put you in a position where you can win football games. Right? They created a couple turnovers last week. The week before that, created another couple turnovers. It's really going to come down to your offense. You had a chance to win this football game, and what happened? Your offense stumbled at the end of the game against Washington. They'll be right in the game. Short of maybe Kansas City, I don't see them getting blown like they did in Dallas and New Orleans, getting blown out. So this is a game, when you look at it, they're going to have an opportunity to win this football game, but it's going to come down to your offense, and ultimately, what is your offense? What decision your quarterback makes.
right. And when it comes to Bill and whatever his future is, you don't think this game has anything to do with it.
No,
you're
no.
not a Volin person who says that they lose this game and it's perfect timing with the bye week and Bill is gone.
No,
right?
and Bill's talking to media right now in Germany, smiling, looking very happy. Bill is not going anywhere.
No.
Bill does not look like a guy, does not speak like a guy.
Does he have his shirt on?
Shirt is on. Yeah,
Okay,
he
good.
looks
All right.
great.
Okay,
Built.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he does not seem like a guy who has his
Are you-
job
are-
on the line.
Greg, are you saying that the Patriots are likely to answer the bell this Sunday?
I hope they do,
He has
Curtis. I hope they do.
Very big upper body bone
my
structure.
gosh.
His ribs, like he's one of them big rib guys.
It's very interesting.
Bill, you notice that.
I-
You notice that when somebody's shirt's off, like
No.
very broad chest.
We don't know that that's necessarily him in that video.
I didn't
We're
say
not
what-
talking
what-
about
what
that.
you're
talking about.
I've been
What are you
just-
talking
about? Okay.
I was saying the other day that not Greg, Bill was built. That Bill, and everybody made fun of me. Everyone was like, "Oh, Courtney, no, he's not. He's not ripped."
No, he's
I don't
not
know.
ripped.
He is
He's husky.
barrel chested.
Yeah, it's husky. He's
Yeah.
he is
I wouldn't take
barrel-chested.
him in a fight.
Huh?
I wouldn't take him in a fight.
Bill's definitely he fights dirty. Definitely, he has that ability. If you were gonna, I'm saying if it did come down to that, I could see you got to be careful with him. But no, if you look at this game, New England, it's ultimately going to come down to the play of your quarterback, because I think defensively they'll scheme up something. Jonathan Taylor's back. Their best player in the passing game on offense is Michael Pittman Jr. It is Gardner Minshew, like you said, great backup quarterback. They'll put you in a position to where you'll have an opportunity to win. You think about against Washington.
You have to be able to convert on some of these third downs.
I think
it's a glaring issue.
Right.
I think, Greg, that Bill Belichick will not be fired after this game no matter what. But I would put it at, if the Patriots lose, I'd put it 70% shot that Mac is not starting after this.
You would?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I would
Because
disagree
you
with
have
that.
a bye week, you have 2 weeks to get whether it's Will Greer or Bailey Zappi or Malik Magic, whatever.
Right.
It appears this week, Burt Breer's had a lot of reporting that the Mac post-game presser, where he's like, "Oh, that's a great question. Interesting point about how I don't have weapons," has really irked those that run the Patriots day to day, Bill and maybe Bill O'Brien, I don't know. And I could see that because you're 2-8. Might as well see what you can get.
Well, Will Greer.
Right, and maybe you have the Patriots, whether it's David Andrews or the other guys of this roster, that will rally around that because Mac is just not getting it done and not really accepting accountability.
Maybe you could talk me into that one.
He I'm sorry, but he plays the season out regardless.
I ultimately agree with that, but I
mean,
think the guys don't like him, and I think they know that in the
who
locker
doesn't
room.
like him?
The offensive players, because he's always throwing those guys under the bus. So I think those guys look at him like they smile in his face and they do all the good things, but when he talks, you could tell it's always about what he doesn't have, and I think those guys.
But why, if he doesn't have it, What's wrong with pointing it out, or when somebody asks you a question about it, acknowledging
Because
it?
then
He
you're
doesn't-
just trashing
Right.
the things you do have.
Right. How would you feel if you're the
You're
quarterback?
not-
So if you're Hunter Henry, do you like when he says, "Oh, that's a good point. I don't have any weapons,"
Right.
or "That's a good point. I don't have any windows to throw balls into"?
Right.
No, of course you don't.
How would you feel if you were the quarterback and
You
I
should
said,
call Window Nation. They do a great job.
and I'm your tight end, and they asked me after the game what happened? I go, well, you know what? I ran a great route. But the ball was overthrown, too low. You know, I'm open, but you know the ball doesn't get there. That's an instant like on your quarterback.
Yeah, I know. I just don't. It doesn't bother me that he's honest.
You,
I
but
think
you don't
everybody-
play.
But Wiggy, everybody looking at it from the outside can identify the issue.
See, but that's
They
the
don't
outside.
have-
I'm talking about the inside. Those guys in the locker room.
Juju Smith-Schuster cannot catch a football.
But do you think Juju?
What does that have to do with Mac Jones?
Because if
you and I
quarterback-
looked at that. We've looked at that play 10 times in here.
he should have caught it.
Yes.
Right, but if
So Mac Jones acknowledges it. Sorry, it hurts somebody's feelings. Like, give me a break.
but that's throwing your teammates
But
under the bus.
Who was the?
They don't. You don't have to throw them under the bus if they're crawling up in there themselves.
Right,
Like,
but do they ever
Juju-
criticize Mac?
Juju is lying down in the bus lane,
Right.
which we have plenty of.
But do you ever
like,
hear them criticizing Mac?
Yeah, has Hunter Henry ever said, "Oh yeah, that ball was 5 feet over my head" when Mac's rolling right and throws that interception?
If he
Like,
was asked about it, he might say it.
no, he
Oh,
wouldn't.
if he
Stop
said
it.
that, Greg
Absolutely
would have.
not.
You would say, "Get Hunter Henry out of here."
Yeah, that's bad for the locker
Yeah.
room. Those guys, let me tell you something. I played offense, and I know defense is a little different because defense you can just create, go find the ball, make the play. On offense, if you run a great route, you're wide open, there's great protection there, but your quarterback makes the wrong read or makes a bad throw, and you start pointing that stuff out the same way when he goes, well, if you give me time, I'm pretty good. So basically, my offensive line stinks. If I got a good offensive line, I can play.
I mean, I just think he's ruined here anyway. I think
Blame yourself for that.
Me?
Stop.
Why am I blaming myself?
I'm saying to him, stop throwing your teammates under the bus.
Yeah, instead of saying all I can work with is garbage, can't make a good meal out of garbage.
Well, he didn't say that.
Allegedly, he said it.
Somebody said that somebody close to him said that.
Henry
He
McKenna
didn't-
reported that.
he-
his
but he
people
didn't
said
say
that.
it. Somebody said it.
Well,
Come
what
on,
about
Mac.
Allegedly.
what about the
Well,
player
okay,
Allegedly,
comments?
somebody
and-
said that he said it.
Okay, and Mike Gesicki actually stood up there and said the guy has been criticized way too much. He's actually, a talented quarterback.
But
So
has he ever
that came from somebody's mouth.
No,
that
no.
plays with
Okay.
him.
I have a question from my mouth.
Yes.
Go around the room. What do you think is more likely? Mac's back as the starting quarterback or Bill Belichick is back as the head coach?
What, next year?
Yep.
Bill.
Belichick.
I think they're both back.
As starter and head coach.
I mean, I think that he'll get a chance to win the job. Maybe they'll find some veteran to bring in and try to give him a little challenge.
If you had to
camp
pick one, though.
pick one of those two. I guess I would think Bill's back.
I think Mac.
You do?
Yes, because Robert Kraft loves that contract. And you
Yeah.
have him under control.
For 1 year,
For
though.
1 year, right? But I mean, you
can get another quarterback on the exact same contract.
Right.
But
Or you can draft a rookie quarterback and not have to worry about having to make a decision next year if you want to give him 26 or 20 or 30 million, where you would then have that rookie on a 5-year deal or 4-year deal.
They're going to take the pick early on, take either a tackle or a wide receiver. They're going to trade multiple firsts or future firsts for Justin Jefferson or someone of that ilk, and then they're
No
going
way.
to bring in Kirk Cousins to compete with Mac Jones.
So you're going to pay Kirk Cousins $30 million a year, trade for someone like Justin Jefferson,
For
which
$30 million.
they never have.
right, Bill
traded that many
Belichick is no
first-round
longer in
picks for.
charge of the organization.
This
they're
is
not
why-
gonna do that.
I said this earlier, but it bears repeating. This is why you're fraudulent and Wiggy's fraudulent. You've
Why?
been telling us all season long that Mac's ceiling is Kirk Cousins.
I don't want Kirk Cousins.
So you want to bring Kirk Cousins in here and pay him $30 million a year.
Shime
when you got a guy for $4 or whatever.
I never said I wanted
million,
Kirk
whatever
Cousins.
it's going to be. What?
That was what he just said.
Want
I don't
you
want
said
Kirk
it during
Cousins.
your lead this morning.
No. I didn't want Kirk Cousins. I never said I wanted Kirk Cousins. I
you
said,
want Kyler Murray.
As a spite pick against Gresh. But I have made my point very clear.
Okay,
that I want a rookie quarterback.
Okay, we're not doing spite picks.
Okay, I've made it very clear I want a rookie quarterback. Okay. I think that's pretty obvious.
If I had to choose between Kyler Murray and Kirk Cousins, I'd go with Kyler Murray.
Oh,
I don't want Kirk Cousins.
Of course you would.
Kyler Murray, he hasn't even been on the field.
No, but I don't want
loves
Kirk Cousins, though.
Wiggy loves a guy who doesn't watch any film because he's too busy
No,
playing
I
video
do
games.
not want Kirk Cousins
Tyreek
at
Hill
all.
doesn't watch film, and he's like the best receiver in
Wiggy
football.
likes a Wiggy.
It's much different for a receiver not to watch film than a quarterback, Shime. Much different.
Wiggy wants a mobile quarterback who's 5'4".
I know.
Gresh calls him a Lilliputian.
But if I
The
had
Patriots will have to cancel all the Six Flags ads.
if I had to choose between a 36-year-old Kirk Cousins and a 27-year-old Kyler Murray, and one's coming off an Achilles, if I had to choose between those two, and one you're only getting for 1 year, I don't want neither.